Hi, my name is Casey, and my Eli project today is called Creative Use Row, also known as CUfA. So, starting off, one thing about me is that I love to partake in creative hobbies. Here are some embellishments of clothing, jewelry making, crocheting. I love scrapbooking. I dabble in a little bit of sewing. I'd love to learn how to sew more and better. Yeah, anything eclectic I feel like I really love. However, as I've grown all of these hobbies, I've accumulated a bunch of materials. So let's go over what I have. Yarn, stamps, glitter, letter stickers, crochet hooks, pliers, chain, glue dots, glue sticks. It's just too much. And as well as what my sister has, it's a lot for one household. And I recognize the privilege of having all these crafting materials within my own home. However, I'm very much aware and scared of the consumerism that I am partaking in. And now that I'm away at college, the materials are just sitting there. So I wish there was a way for me to extend the life of my materials and allow others to use them to also be able to creatively express themselves. And that's where CUFA comes in. So, CUFA, for my mountaintop goal, it is to have all UCSB students and organizations turn to CUFA first prior to purchasing new arts and crafts supplies. As for my SMART goal, it was to open a physical center to distribute at least 20 arts and crafts supplies collected from UCSB students in the community to later distribute in the spring quarter. CUFA targets promoting sustainability, diverting usable materials from landfills, as well as increasing accessibility towards these supplies. So CUFA's journey felt like a long and strenuous one, but all hard work pays off. First, it started out in the winter quarter when I was reaching out to multiple UCSB and surrounding entities to secure a physical location to host CUFA. This took a lot longer than I expected. I thought it would take at least one quarter. It took 1.5 quarters, which wasn't bad, just not what I was expecting. I reached out to departments such as the art department, the Makerspace, the Isla Vista Community Service District, the SRB, the University Center, as well as the Pardell Center. Out of all four of those, I received two yeses, fortunately, and it was a lot of exchanging emails back and forth and waiting to hear back from them. As for collecting donations, I had 11 donation sites all around in and around campus. I had eight at the residence hall, one at the SRB, one at the Isla Vista Community Service District, and one at Ellison Hall. It was important for me to have a location be located outside of campus, so I was able to set up Isla Vista. And then the SRB was also a very high traffic point where a lot of people pass by. So it was a major contribution to my project as well. And last but not least, constructing, stocking, and officially opening CUFA to the community was by far the easiest part. And then for the winter quarter, collecting donations with the little having a box located at these different places. Here I have a picture of the SRB and Ellison, and then attached to the box was this flyer that's on the left side of this portion. And it had what I accepted and a little bit more about CUFA and contact information. And then I also had a social media post as well as this flyer on the right that was made for sending out listservs, social media, and whatnot. And then if you combine them two together, I had a very successful donation collection. As for constructing the cabinet, it was pretty straightforward. All I had to do was really lug it from Ellison Hall to the UCen, and then I constructed at the UCen with help. And then I visited the makerspace, made vinyl signage for the cabinet. I was able to construct and open it. I also made another flyer to fly around campus, sent through listservs again, and post on social media announcing that CUFA is officially open. So during my 9 months with Eli, I was able to secure a physical location at the UCen. I was able to collect and divert over 10 pounds of materials from landfills and participate in three events during the spring quarter, one of which including providing materials for Environmental Affairs Board breakout session. So during April, UCSB Earth Month occurred, held by the AS Office of President, and I was able to collab with Arts and Crafts Club at UCSB to hold a cardboard bouquet making event using supplies provided by CUFA as well as Arts and Crafts Club. And it was a lot of fun being out in nature, good turnout as well. very happy how it happened. And then we also have an environmental affairs board, Ivy Earth Day. I tabled with Tide and Terra, a zine, and we had a prompt where attendees could answer, and their artwork was then featured in their zine. I hope the future of CUfA involves a continued influx and outflux of materials through, as like CUfA is more established and more people get to know about the resources available to them. I hope they continue to donate and take what is needed, as well as an increase of creative expression through arts and crafts as the center aims to remove the barriers associated with receiving arts and crafts supplies. I'd also love to implement an interactive feature surrounding the cabinet, such as lending arts and crafts materials, or like lending tools such as rulers, hot glue guns, like different types of scissors would be really fun. We could also install a creative project for passerbyers of the use end and users of CUfA to collaborate on a creative project. And I also love to highlight student artwork. And going back to my SMART goal, I believe that the future of CUfA can involve the UCSB community first heading to CUfA first to access arts and craft supplies. To reflect back on my leadership, as my mentor Anna Jensen said, I really left no stone unturned by reaching out to multiple UCSB entities. I was also able to advocate for myself through following up with emails, reaching out with persistency. That's very key, like being persistent, being respectful also, reaching out with persistency in multiple different ways. I talked at multiple governance board meetings to pitch my project and whatnot. And I also sent updates about CUfA during when I was waiting to hear back from them as well. I also was proactive in community engagement through managing my social media, holding and participating in different events, and reaching out to different people and departments to introduce myself and CUfA to them, letting them know like how I think our mission aligns and how they could benefit from CUfA. I also implemented the actions I needed to create my theory of change, which was opening this cabinet. So here's the slides that I presented. The first half is what I pitched to the university center. I have like my reasons of like goals of CUfA, the significance, the ideas behind it. I also provided a mock image to see, to like show what CUfA could look like in their space. And I also had CUfA updates, which I sent out during the spring quarter when I was waiting to hear back from them, like when they were still making their decisions. It was a lot of quantitative data, which I would hope to show like there's a need and want for CUfA to be established in their spaces. So fortunately, I was able to say that my SMART goal was achieved. I was able to open a physical center. I distributed at least 20 arts and crafts supplies, and they were donated by UCSB students and community members, as well as able to distribute them during this winter quarter. Honestly, Eli has been a great opportunity. I've learned so much. There's been a lot of ups and downs throughout my project, but I hope that now that CUfA is established, more is created and less is thrown out and bought. I'm really excited to see how CUfA is going to grow. I know I'm definitely going to use those supplies located in the cabinet, and there has been a lot of support throughout this process, which I'm really grateful for. Every time I've had a meeting with my mentor, Anna, and Erica, I feel like I always come out of them feeling more confident about the future of CUfA. And there's like a lot that you can learn about it, and I'm very grateful that CUfA worked out. So that being said, I would like to give a big shout out to Simone Pulver and Erica Zollet for giving me this opportunity to create environmental change in the Environmental Leadership Incubator, as well as Anna Jensen, my mentor, for guiding me through this process and riffing off ideas with me, as well as Hugo Rios at the UCEN for allocating space for my projects, and all my friends and family who've supported me throughout this mission. Thank you, everyone.